minute, we've been talking about construction, building, interior design. As our work continues to speak volumes on our social media pages, we unveil something spectacular that we have been working on. And talking about renovation, on today's episode, I'm going to show you what we call office renovation, courtesy of Safi Vintage Homes, where we speak luxury. Now, this is one client who reached out to us with a little bit of more detail than we could anticipate. We were blown away, and this is one of the steps that we engage ourselves in before we embark on a project. We have conversations with the client. What do you want? What kind of designs are you looking at? Trust me, this one blew our mind, but I'm going to show you what we've been working on. But for now, welcome to our office renovation part, courtesy of Safi Vintage Homes. And if you walk with me this journey, I can guarantee you'll be in our DMs asking for the kind of work we do, and of course you will sit down with us at our offices in Kingdom, Kampala, and we will make magic together. For now, let me welcome you to this particular first part of the office. This is the corridor. Alas, I bring you straight into the office that I've been talking about. Away from the corridor, you walk into this state-of-art office. You walk into an amazing place where transformation has not only happened, but transformation will always live within this particular area. Courtesy of Safi Vintage Homes, where we definitely speak luxury. Our statement just speaks volumes. Bespoke luxury. And if I could take you down the entire process of how everything transformed, as you can see, this video is going to have a lot of before and after. So I need you to walk with me step by step, because trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be in our DMs. I'm going to say this as many times as I can, because yes, why not? We can create the magic together. You and I, we are inseparable when it gets to this kind of beauty. Now, if you walk with me, for those of you that have had a chance to be in this particular office, I'm still going to not mention where we are or the name of the client, but if this office space looks familiar, then you will exactly understand what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, well, my production team was here during the entire process, man, and they're showing you the before and after. You will notice that this part of the office is where the boss or the big man used to sit. But we say, nah, let's make a bit of a change. As you can see, this is exactly how we turned this one out to be. We decided to give it a bit of a TV room this side, to create that a bit of welcoming atmosphere, When the visitors walk in, they have a sitting lounge. As you can see, they have something to keep them company, just in case the main man is a little bit engaged. And of course, who doesn't want to keep informed? Who doesn't want to be updated? You never know, you could find some Safi Vintage work right here on the screen. So you should look out for Safi Vintage. But away from that, before we get into the details of the floor, I want us to talk about another design, which is the fluted panel design. Earlier on, I told you about the wainscoting design in the corridor, which we will later notice that it is continuous within this particular area of space. But nonetheless, to create a difference, and as far as our TV stand area is relatable, we decided to go with the fluted panel design. You never go wrong with this one. And the beauty about fluted panel design is that this is hard wood. This is imported wood that comes with specific designs and of course measurements. So it's a little bit hard to play with when you are renovating vis-a-vis the wainscoting design, which comes with that advantage. And of course you will realize that we're maintaining, the grayish whitish kind of color. I tried to do a little bit of research, man. And I don't know, you let me know in the inbox, what color do you get when you mix gray and white? I tried to do this with Sheila, and I think we came up with grayish, whitish, something like that. Man, the English words sometimes do get to play me, but I love them nonetheless. So you will notice this particular design taking repetition all the way from here as we maintain the color. There's a bit of brownish that comes in here to, make it stand out. You have the white in the background where the TV is, and then of course you have the brown color that just flickers all the way through. And like I told you, man, our client is highly respected. There's so many awards that he has been getting, so many recognitions recognitions that he has been making. And that is why we thought we need a lot of storage space. Not only in the TV area, but also some other area where he'll be seated. But as you can notice, we have a bit of awards going on here. And, so many souvenirs. This is Impact TV / Impact FM / Dream TV. Impact FM as the best and committed radio client 2023. Yeah, but this is basically the TV area or stand that you can definitely get to have in your office in case you think about partnering with us, or better yet, any design we can play with. Now let's talk about the sitting area. I need a breather for this one. Now initially, these chairs were not there. That's the truth. And we thought there's enough space. Why not make it more comfortable for the visitors that are going to be coming into this particular office? As you can see the before, that's how it looked like, man. There was not so much going on. But Safi Vintage sat down and said, no, we will use a coffee table here. And not just any coffee table. A coffee table that is luxurious enough with similar colors portraying all the way from the fluted panel design to this particular feel. And as you can see also on our centerpiece here, we are still maintaining that brownish color. You never go wrong when it gets to consistency and Safi Vintage Homes. I can bet my arm on it that you will get in touch with us because of the kind of consistency we deliver our work with. And of course, as you can see also on the chairs down here, we are maintaining the brown color, We try to keep it a little bit synchronized. And we have the center carpet here, which was not here initially. Who doesn't need a center carpet to beautify their room? I don't know. I can't think of anyone. Safi Vintage thought of the best. And you can see there's a bit of resemblance in the chairs that we have in the sitting lounge together with the carpet, the center carpet. Man, you could literally sit here, man. I can assure you that. But away from that, there's another interesting aspect that we bring into this particular office. And probably this is going to be the very first time I'm talking about it. You have heard about it. Maybe you didn't know about it. You will notice on the floor, we have what we call, a different type of tile partnering. Now, we have two main tile partners. One is the running bond partner. Usually it's the common one, not so much art going on. But in this particular office, we decided to go with what we call the herringbone partner. Now, the herringbone partner of, tile placing is a little bit different. There's a little bit more of art involved, in terms of how you place the tiles, in terms of how you measure them from one side to another. So usually most people find the herringbone a little bit, complicated. But I love complication because it makes me stand out. It makes me unique. And that's what we live for at Safi Vintage Homes. All you have to do is get in touch with us, and trust me, man, you will not go wrong. So like I've told you, I hope today you've learned something new from this particular video. Two types of tile partnering. You have the herringbone partner, which we're using here, and of course the running bond partner. You need to know that. And of course, away from that, you will also be brought back to the consistency of the wainscoting design. I told you this is something that is repetitive in the office, and the reason is very simple. It gives us room to place more art in the office. He loves art. I'm about to show you an art piece that is going to blow some of you away in regards to what he loves the most. But this is I'm still talking about God, Psalms 46:10. I know what I am. You need to know what you are, man. You need to know where you're coming from in order for you to know where you're going. That's one thing I love about the Bible, man. Is just that we never read it to understand it, but there is so much that we can find out within the Bible. You will notice that in the middle of this wainscoting design and this other side, we have the fluted panel that comes in again. Not because it looks beautiful there, no, because it looks magnificent and it creates a bit of difference. Now, you are crossing over from one side to another side. This is like the road, in the Red Sea. Bah! And the path came through. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Now, this is literally the TV area and the seating lounge. The consistency in the colors, in the material is one to live for. And of course, I have to talk about the curtains as well, the holdings. These were not here initially, as you can see in our previous videos, and we continue to maintain the gypsum above us. I told you earlier on the advantages of having a gypsum in our construction space. There are so many. You can always go to the internet and also get some information for yourself. But yes, we are consistent with our gypsum. And if you could look at this gypsum, we try to, have a bit of uniformity in regards to the lighting. We have the strip lights that are coming in to create a square-like circle. And you can see the before. It was just a mere ceiling, nothing going on. But we said, you know what? let's give it a bit of, turmeric touch. I like to use that one. And this is it. You have the strip lights coming in. You have the cove lightings, of course, embedded inside the gypsum and the chandelier, of course. This was not here initially. So you have the chandelier in the living, or what you could call the sitting area, and which is a bit different from the other side of the office. Yes, in case you're wondering, office Charlie, and it's big enough, man. Courtesy of us knowing where to place what in what place. So yes, you have, the chandelier, you have the strip lights going on, you have the spotlights, and all these enhance beauty in this particular office. And if I could cross over to the favorite art piece I've been talking about, our client is an Arsenal fan. Oh boy, our client is an Arsenal fan, a North Londoner, and he was very precise about this one, man. He said, in whatever art pieces you're bringing, let's talk about the love of God, let's talk about the works of God, and let's talk about Arsenal. I think God is not hearing their prayers. As a Man U fan, I think he's not, but that's a story for another day, because right now, I think my prayers are also on hold when it gets to soccer. But yes, this is also another element that we introduce in the office, something the client wants, something that, could make the client smile more often every time he sees, his team winning. And of course, we went ahead to play with the AC placement. Initially wasn't there, but there you go. And of course, the wainscoting design coming through to be reflected on the other side of the wall, vis-a-vis the other side of the wall, maintaining a balance and as far as the feel and look of the office is supposed to be. Now, allow me to introduce you to this other side of the office. Initially, there was a window, as you can see in the before, and we said, you know what, since we are changing things around, and we are saying instead of sitting where the TV stand is, because initially that's where the big boss used to sit. So we said, let's twist it up a little bit. Let's bring him over to this side. You saw the door I walked in through. It makes so much sense when he walks through the door and comes all the way to his seat. So we said, you know what? Let's make up a change. And we decided, let's come up with what we call a wall feature. Yes, this is a wall feature that I'm talking about. And as you can see, we are still talking lots of appreciation awards. He has been not only locally understood and of course represented, but also he has been internationally recognized. So he has so many souvenirs going on. But nonetheless, another unique aspect about our client is that he's big on reading books. He likes to keep informed. He likes to know what's going on. So this is a piece of advice for you who's watching this, as you're looking forward to building and, working with us, you also need to read a lot. So that's why you'll find yourself with a lot of free storage spaces like here, where you can be able to place his books all the way to this side. You can still play around with some of the storage spaces. You can see this is the packaging of the coffee machine that I'll be showing you later on, and so much more, man. All this space could have books because he's big at reading books. As you can see, we still maintain the uniformity of art. It speaks volumes to him. And as someone who loves art, I would love to be surrounded by different art pieces in my office. There's a way it creates a warm feeling. I think it would be rude for me not to sit in here a little bit and show you how good our client is going to be looking like. This is it. This is the feel you get when you put Safi Vintage Homes to work. We bring authenticity, we bring uniqueness, we bring luxury, we bring elegance, we bring everything that defines our tagline, bespoke luxury. And of course, you'll also be able to notice that the brownish color that I talked about in the seating area is consistent within our chair. Even the main seat has a bit of brownish to it. The table itself has a bit of brownish to it, and a bit of look alike a marble topping. Initially in the corridors, I talked about the marble-like tiles. Now, when you look at this table, it gives you a feel of the marble topping element. Consistency is what we're always looking for. This is how the man is going to be in his office. We're talking more storage space here, where you can be able to put, your personal documents. And of course, so much going on as well here. A lot of storage space for you and a lot of leg room, You can be able to enjoy your office without having to run out of it. Some of you want to run out of offices. But imagine your office has been, worked on and revolutionized by Safi Vintage Homes. I don't think you want to run away. Another aspect that, of course, is very highlighting in this particular office is our coffee table. Yeah. Why not have a cup of coffee anytime you feel like you want to? You know, this is where Safi Vintage comes in, and the consistency in the color also is very key. The consistency in the topping of the table is very key. Storage space. You never know. You never know where you want to drop your wallet. Yeah? But she has more storage here down for the books, for lots of, art-related like pieces. And the coffee maker is here. We look at, the table, and you could be wondering, why did we have to change to this particular color? Now, let me tickle your mind. If you look at this blue piece, there's a bit of reflection it gives from the grayish color that is bouncing off the wainscoting design. Now, not everyone can notice that or see that. Safi Vintage team, the technical team, will see it, and they have seen it, and they say, instead of having the brown like we have in the sitting area, let's have the blue-like color so that it is easily reflective from the wall, and hence this beautifying area. Our client uses planes a lot, that's one thing for sure, and we decided, let's give him an engine plane for an art piece, and we decided to bring this to life, supported by the wainscoting design and area where you can be able to place your painting. Another advantage the wainscoting design has over the fluted panel. It gets a little bit technical if you want to put an image or a portrait within a fluted panel. It can't not be done. It can be done, courtesy of us, but it needs a little bit of technicality, you know what I'm talking about? But with the wainscoting design, it is as easy as it can flow. So you have yourself this entire beautiful office, and the difference now with the gypsum and the lighting comes in center play. Now, as I told you earlier on, you will notice the chandelier the other side, and when you come this side, you will notice the spot lighting. Yeah, the CEO has to be a little bit different than anyone else. So we decided to give him the spot lighting. This one's usher light straight onto his table, so he has enough light when he's doing his work. He's gonna have his PC here, a couple of other things here, so he has enough light in order to help him do his work. Could be late in the night, could be in the early morning hours before the sun comes out. We make sure he does not worry about anything called lighting. Of course, we have the similarity of the spotlights, which continue to enhance light and beauty within the office. You have the strip lighting as well, which continues to give you more lighting. As you can see how I look, man. My team didn't need to brush me up way too much. My team didn't need to light me up way too much. They said, we got you. Just come over and see what we've been working on. This is all courtesy of Safi Vintage Homes. Now, one of you might be wondering, where are the places of convenience? An office like this, you don't need to take the stairs to ease yourself. You don't need to rush out to ease yourself. But I'm going to spin you straight into that and see the kind of difference we created with the previous place of convenience, or known as a washroom, to our current washroom. Come with me. Welcoming you to this place of convenience, or what is commonly known as the washroom, is the American door handle. Now, so many people are going to be involved in conversations like, no, you can't find the authentic ones. You can't get them in Uganda. Well, you haven't thought about Safi Vintage Homes. You dare think about us? We will get this type of door lock to you. But welcoming you into this particular place, you'll be met by a different feel, or the beauty that wasn't in here previously. If you look at the previous video of how this washroom looks like, this is exactly how, the works were going on, and the difference in how, the entire place feels like or looks like. Now, as soon as you walk in, you'll be welcomed by this pendant lighting, which gives you a warm feel into the bathroom. And we do have extra lighting, which has been maintained in regards to, this particular strip lighting. It's a square-like strip lighting just surrounding this particular mirror, which gives you, a reflection that you need. I believe that every bathroom must have a mirror, You need to see what you're doing with yourself. If you're brushing, if you're cleaning your hair, whatever it is you are doing, you need yourself a beautiful mirror. And above all, you need one that can be able to cater for your storage space as well. Toothpaste, mouthwash, whatever it is, toothbrush, whatever you use in the bathroom, this could be where you place it. Now, if it wasn't Safi Vintage Homes, I don't know who would have told you that. But yes, I like the fact that I'm always informing you people, and I like the fact that you do appreciate the information. Oh, this time around, I had forgotten to send shout outs to people from Kenya, Rwanda, Nigeria, South Africa. Those of you that are always watching, our YouTube and getting in touch with us, saying thank you so much. But away from this, you will be, of course, welcomed by another state-of-the-art sink here that is definitely going to be embedded with more strip lighting things, as you can see. And of course, you do have more storage space as well, depending on what other things you would like to keep in here. You could put, I don't know, whatever it is, man. It could be your boxes or anything, depending on what you want to use the storage space for. You have, of course, the water running already. This is all courtesy of Safi Vintage Homes. And you have this particular area where you can be able to do your business at any time. You have the towels as well. I'm one person who believes that every nice bathroom must have nice quality cotton towels. You never go wrong with Safi Vintage. We will find them and we'll bring them to you. So then you have that. And then of course you will also notice the tiles in here. And of course this is the running pattern. This is another pattern of, tile placing that I was talking about earlier on. On the floor we have the herring pattern. On here we have the running partner, which is a bit more similar and usually the one we have in our homes or offices. But another similarity is that it's a marble-like tile. So these marble-like tiles are a representative of the marble-like tiles I showed you earlier in the corridor. We're talking consistency, right? So here we go. And then of course you'll be able to come this other extra side where we placed another piece of art. As I mentioned earlier on, our client is one to love art. So we said, you know what? An extra one in the bathroom. There you go. All these creating a difference in as far as the before and after of this particular washroom or place of convenience is relatable. Another thing that we have maintained in regards to consistency is the fluted panel design that you will see on the edges of the upper side of the ceiling before you get into the curved lighting that is embedded within the gypsum. All this is state-of-the-art consistency, and the only place you can definitely find it is Safi Vintage Homes. Now, with all this information, with all this, availability, with all this kind of amazing work we are doing, what are you waiting for, man? Are you thinking about construction? Are you thinking about innovation? Are you thinking about interior design? Well, it's very simple, man. We need you to think Safi Vintage Homes, but above all, remember our address. We are located at Kingdom, Kampala. BO2 is the number of the office. Get over there and come through. Let's talk authenticity. Let's talk beautifying your area of residence. Let's talk about, working some magic around your office place. Whatever it is, if you think beauty and uniqueness, then you need to think about us, because we are just exactly what our tagline stands for: bespoke luxury.